we were just getting involved with Northpoint. We were, we're going to church. We were trying to get our 3 daughters involved in different areas.
And none of this was on our radar at all. And Julie texted me and was like, we're doing this. And I was just like, no, that's just not gonna work for us. Like, we've had a bad experience with that. And you were so sweet because you kept giving me like outs. Like, well, you can try it. If you don't like it, you can quit.
She's like, hey, we're going to go to community group night at the church. So we went that night and we had the biggest table, which was a little intimidating. We also won the first game, which was like, all right, this was a competitive group, I like it. And then getting to see and meet the people, it was the best decision I think she ever made for us. Outside of like saying yes to me or whatever, all those things.
I was thinking back more to when the group started and just kind of where we were at. And I was really on this journey of trying to figure out where my identity came from because of so many issues in my extended family. And so truly being able to like pour your heart out and just, even some nights just crying and feeling like I just totally went there was just a part of my healing process. Knowing that people were praying for you, knowing that people were checking in, and every week being able to come and show up and just share a little bit more each day of how things were progressing and getting better. And, I think the time in which we started was so huge for so many of us.
I lost my dad a few months ago. And when we talked about this as a group just a few weeks ago, it's like the strings that God pulls to pull people together sometimes is baffling. So Melissa, lost her dad the year prior. Mark went through it, and then we have another, Allie went through it. So there's 4 of us. I think there's a recognition in somebody else going through the same thing in life is really helpful. And this group has been very, good about just being there.
People are going to be around influencing you. And so I think the question is like, do you want to intentionally pick people that you want speaking into your life, doing life with, sharing the highs, sharing the lows, sharing everything in between? Or do you want to just like wander through life and have random people intermittently speaking into that? And so, I think we didn't like choose each other, like the characters in our video game that we're playing here, but none of us would have chosen the path that we have been on in this group. None of us expected all of the amazing things that have happened in this group. And yet here we are, and none of us would give it up. So I think that's what it comes down to is like, do you want to really intentionally surround yourself with people that are gonna make you better, point you to Jesus, laugh with you, cry with you, make you laugh so hard that you cry sometimes, or do you want to just go through life missing all that?
You look at the Vandales, and they're an impressive people. Like what they do for a living, their company, all that kind of stuff. You're like, man, these people are pretty impressive. Like, wow. But they're humans, and group shows a human side of these people that you're meeting. And there are doctors in this group, homemakers in this group, and there are entrepreneurs in this group, and there are educators in this group. Everybody comes from different parts of life, but we all have similar or relatable experiences. And so when you get back down to it, those experiences, we have people to talk through, and then talk through that with our relationship with God and how we can get closer to that. Not knowing I needed it, it has been, I would say, and I've told her this, I've told this group this, it's helped me in my career, it's helped me in my life, it's helped me create balance, and it's become a staple to what is really important to making me a better person, a better man, a better father, a husband, all that kind of stuff. It's just the people in this group.
For us, we were a little bit nervous coming in because we're so much younger. Well, not so much younger. Okay,
it's no secret.
At least mature.
We are younger, and so I think there is some hesitancy about that. But with the character thing, it's like we've learned so much about the next stage of life, or about the kind of parents we would want to be. I just feel like we've learned so much.
Or the kind of parents you don't want to be.
That's what I was thinking too.
We do that for you. Do we want to be parents?
That too.
my biggest pushbacks to getting back into a group, but specifically, getting back into a leadership role within the group was time. Like, certainly the first couple months, it felt like this is really hard. Like, it's really hard. But then as you develop those relationships that we talked about, it just got easier and easier, because I think you just feel the fruit of that. It's like, oh, I invested that time, and I'm appreciating these relationships and how it's affecting my relationship with God and my marriage and my parenting and, all the different things that we talk about, and to where it does become a bit of a habit and something that you look forward to. And, I think the things we look forward to, we make time for, but you have to go through that period and then kind of have to break through that period of, working it in.
I think there's something too that's like contagious about the commitment and other people prioritizing it. Like, we're the only kidless couple, so it's hard for us to make excuses. But like, when we see like business owners with 3 kids that like are opening their house every single week, or Kohler as a middle school principal who like his whole staff knows, like, don't schedule me for anything on Thursdays. And the only thing they miss for is like their own kids have events. There is like something that I think kind of impacts the group.
I think everyone's really quick to say, I don't have this figured out, but this has worked. I think there's something really unique about saying, I don't have the answer. In fact, I am really struggling. Please help. And I think the more that each couple has done that, the closer we've gotten, because there are certain times in your marriage or with kids where things are going really well, but there are also seasons that all of us face that are just really hard, or we're really tired, or we don't want to be here. But I think when you show up and you say that, and then you have somebody who can step in and say, yes, I totally get it. Last year it was really hard, but we made it. And so then you have that, you have the vulnerability, but you also have the perspective of hope, which just, I think that's what then fuels you to keep going. And we have both, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think every time we come together, regardless of whether we've got a lesson or whatever it is, the consistent purpose of coming together is community. Mm-hmm. And it always kind of wraps around that. It's coming together. If someone's got stuff going on, that's what we're going to talk about. We're here to be a community. We're not here to go through a lesson plan or get through these things in time or through the questions we're supposed to. It's to be together and to be there for each other. And I think that's really, really, really special.